So first off, I don't even remember where or how I found this, but I want to say one of my friends sent me an article from either Haggerty or The Drive or something, or Road and Track. I don't remember what it is, but I knew that this was something that I was going to have to get at some point. I kind of held off for a long time. I was waiting and waiting to see if more people would get their hands on one or anything and like get an actual review, and I still never really saw anything, but I did see one post. And I messaged the guy and I was like, you know what, I'm going to take a shot on it and see what happens. So that's kind of why I'm making this video, because I know there's not a whole lot out. So getting into the box immediately, everything was packaged really nice. And this was the first time I was pulling it out. So this genuine confusion at the start here. But he actually has a nice 3D printed thing that he sent everything on. So everything's in there. So you got like, yeah, it's just an overview of everything. All the parts it comes with. It comes with a nice little keychain. It's basically a shifter rebuild with extra steps, and it goes clickety clackety now, so that's pretty cool. One thing I want to point out that Ryan does better than everybody else, because a lot of companies fail to do this, is he included instructions to do everything, and because I'm a boomer, I had to print them out. So getting into the install, it's like I said earlier, you're basically doing a shifter rebuild kit, and it's not hard. You just have to take everything apart and then put it back together, like I said, but with extra steps. But I'll be the first to admit, I'm not very mechanically inclined. I barely know what I'm doing, but even I got it done in like an hour. It wasn't hard. So like I said, you just do the exact same steps as a shifter rebuild. So you stick the bushing down in there, and I kind of skipped all that part because I was kind of rushing because there was a storm coming, but it's all there. If you know how to do a shifter rebuild, you can do this. And then getting those, there's 3 little Allens down in there. They are kind of a pain to line up, but once you get it, it's not that bad. So the cool part is there's a lot of adjustability in this. So like the actual gates themselves, you can adjust without having to pull the whole center console and everything out. And then the cover plate right there that you see me adjusting it right here, it's very movable. So you can get it pretty tight and make it look really good. So yeah, it's pretty easy, and then that was just me making sure it was all lined up and even on each side, and then buttoning up the center console. And then I actually ended up reaching out to Ryan and seeing what shift knob he used in some of his promotions, because I really liked the brushed look on the brush shifter. So had to get that. So now it's basically time to get into what people are really going to like about this, and then just making some click-clacky noises. So yeah, I'll stop talking. I don't think it's a bad thing. You'll hear it in the next clip. And it could also be a skill issue on my end because my throwout bearing is definitely going out. So maybe that's what's making noise. But I really don't mind how it sounds. I think it sounds pretty cool. So as far as how it drives, it really doesn't drive that much different than a stock car. It's basically just a shifter rebuild with a bronze bushing. Now, if you're buying this to expect, the person I talked to made this a point that if you're expecting this to be a short shifter, it is not a short shifter. It is literally the exact same as a stock Miata shifter. It just makes noise. As far as what I'd like to see from maybe a future update or future release, probably make this out of either plastic like the bottom side is made out of, or rubber, because it almost feels like a tennis ball. I mean, even just wiping it with a microfiber, it's already picking up dust and dirt. And then maybe a mesh screen under here so stuff doesn't get down in here. But I mean, overall, I think it's pretty good. Something that I will note is that there is a bushing on the bottom side of this that you're gonna need to get off, and you're gonna have to cut your boot. And if you don't have to, I'm sure Ryan will chime in, but I had a brand new boot and I had to cut it off, which it's not a big deal, but it's just something to know. So what do I actually think about it? I think it's a good piece. I think it's really cool. It's very, very unique. You'll probably be the only person in your area that has one, and I don't think you could go wrong with it. Yeah, it's kind of expensive, but to understand the engineering and the design and everything that went into this and all the work, it makes sense. I mean, and the fact that it's actually mounted to the transmission instead of just a plate, I think it's worth it. I think he did a great job, and I would definitely recommend this to people. I should also mention that I'm not sponsored. This isn't sponsored or anything. I did pay for it, and this is an honest review. This is how I feel about it. I'll leave a link to all their website and all their social medias and everything, and go check it out for yourself. But if you're in the Ohio area and you want to check it out, hit me up. Or I'll be at Miata's at the Gap. Check it out. Thank you, Gary. Peace.